Hi, welcome to FedScoop TV. I'm Colby Hockmuth. I'm sitting here with John Landwehr, Vice President for Digital Government Solutions at Adobe. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So John, how do you think that industry can help government become more digital?
I think industry can help government in a number of ways. One is certainly on the technology side, that industry provides a number of technology solutions that are applicable to government, but it's not just the technology, it's also having the opportunity to see how that technology has been utilized in other industries, perhaps industries that are often very competitive, that therefore drives innovation and differentiation to make the technology evolve very quickly. So when the technology is being used to help, let's say, businesses engage with their customers, adopting mobile technologies, more online self-service capabilities, that's very applicable from not only a use case of business to customers, but also as technology then that can help governments do government to citizen, that I think there are a lot of great parallels there from both kind of a technology and kind of what does the end user need to support the best kind of experiences and interactions with that organization.
Right. And so what technologies do you think are driving the biggest change in government?
I think number one would be mobile, and it's not just mobile from an internal employee perspective, going from being able to read your email outside your office, but also being able to interact with applications on the go, support remote working capabilities, teleworking capabilities, improve productivity, collaboration, communication, but also mobile is really driving greater digital experiences out to the public and with the citizens. And now that mobile devices are way outselling PCs, both from a smartphone and tablet perspective, these non-PC devices are their primary internet-connected device. And it's very important for the government from an accessibility perspective to support those devices, because it may be the only internet-connected device they have, and if you don't support smartphones and tablets well, you cannot engage with those people from a digital perspective, and then you'll regress back to having to staff call centers, having to support more in-person transactions that take place. So I think mobile is definitely a big one. Also, I think certainly the cloud, and we're going to see a big year with cloud in government with the FedRAMP deadline. That has provided a great framework for the government to uniformly assess cloud-based services, make it easier for government to adopt these services and know that the providers are meeting a common bar that everybody can agree on. That is also driving a number of organizations then to release more cloud-based services that will be very applicable to the government, meeting those security needs. Adobe's working a lot on those cloud-based services focused on government going through the FedRAMP process. So I think that's going to be a very big area. And then the third one, I think, is kind of the intersection of open development, open source, and open standards, and how technology can be ensured to be more interoperable, more cost-effective, and really looking at kind of modular, interconnected capabilities that are going to span across the first two, because it's going to be important as more cloud-based services evolve that there's standards and connectivity back to their on-premise software. It's also important then that these cloud-based services are going to work with mobile devices, so really kind of adhering to industry standards is going to be very, very important kind of as part of that open standards, open development methodology.
Sure. And so what tools can help government be more collaborative and be more engaging?
I think it often starts with a website, right? That a lot of the government websites still aren't mobile optimized, and it's a quick thing to check from a consumer smartphone or tablet. Bring up your website, see how navigatable it is. There's a lot of opportunities to also learn from what commercial organizations have done. Look at your home banking website, look at your news, weather, sports, social websites, see what they've done with responsive design, web technologies. That will then create a better experience that creates more collaboration from government out to the public. Next phase beyond that, I would say, is looking at applications, because it's very clear that end users prefer installable mobile apps than they do going to a web browser. Now, a browser is a great place to start. You can leverage that content into a mobile app to simultaneously publish content to a browser and to mobile apps. But for applications that you really want the end users to engage with on a regular basis, weekly, daily, even more than that, they prefer the app, so that's an important way to collaborate. There are also a variety of social media tools, certainly, to leverage so that you can get feedback from the public to understand how your programs are working. If you provide online forms, you can get feedback. Are those forms easy to understand? You can also then take that a step further to implement analytics on those technologies, so that not only do you get kind of the qualitative data coming in that people are sharing their feelings in words, but with the analytics you can also start to look more quantitatively at the clicks. And maybe you've got a form-based process that's multiple pages, and you can see after the second page the drop-off rate is significant. Okay, let's go back and look at that form. What is it on that form that is either a confusing or misleading question that people are getting stuck? And that's where that quantitative analytics data can come back in. There's also a lot of real-time collaboration technologies that can be used not only on desktops but also mobile devices to better facilitate that collaboration as well.
Great. Well, some really interesting insight, John. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
You're watching FedScoop TV.